there is a massive, massive misunderstanding of how money is made on the internet. See, you might think that you need a ton of followers to make a ton of money on the internet, but let me expose a little bit of the reality to you. See, I've gotten the chance to be friends with and have relationships with and work with people who have a lot of followers online, tens of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. And these people, not a single one of them had the income that I thought they would have. They didn't have the cash coming in that I would have thought would be associated with all those darn followers, right? And before I tell you why, the point of this video is to show you that you don't need to become an influencer or a content creator to make boatloads of money online, okay? So the reason why these creators don't make a ton of money and why this lifestyle that they're showing, a lot of it is inflated, like for most of them, is like they're not offering anything that would make them a lot of money, right? Like a lot of people aspire to having brand deals and sponsorships. And the thing with that is like that's mostly a status thing for most creators. Like it's mostly an ego thing to say, hey, I've got a brand deal. Like I get brand deals. I make money off of sponsorships. But the reality is like most of them are making anywhere from $30,000 a year to like maybe 100. Right. And then you have a few outliers who sign multiple 5 or 6 figure brand deals throughout the year. And so they might make a few 6 figures. Right. And even more outliers might make 7 figures off of their brand deals. But like, it's so rare. If you think about it, what percentage of people have a real audience like over 100,000, right? Like a pretty small percentage of the global population has that. And then only a small percentage of that small percentage are actually getting paid like 6-figure range. And an even smaller percent are getting paid in a 7-figure range. And so like the association between followers and dollars is just not real. Like it has to be made that way. You have to create an association between followers and dollars. Because if not, what these creators are doing is they're sending all their traffic, all their audience over to somebody else's business. And most of the time, they're not even doing that well. So they have these big audiences with all this pent up demand that's not being liquidated well, and certainly not being liquidated in their favor. So this problem creates a fantastic opportunity for you and I. What they're missing is a solid connection between their audience and a business that they own. Because think about it, right now, all of their promotions result in the creation of a customer for somebody else's business, not for their business. So they have to keep selling their audience on different offers over and over and over and over again because they don't own the business. If I'm watching a beauty creator and they refer me, or better yet, because I use DJI products, I'm shooting on my phone now, but I have a camera, I got mics, whatever. So if a tech creator, pushes me towards DJI, then DJI has the ability to get an Osmo Pocket 2 out of me. It has the ability to get the mic kit out of me. It has the ability to get me to gift an Osmo Pocket 3 to my little cousin so that she can create content. They have the ability to sell me the stands and the SD cards and all of that. So they're making thousands of dollars off of me. If I even use an affiliate link, they made at most like 20% commission on whatever I bought the first time. If I bought at that time, at the very least, maybe their YouTube video is monetized. And so they're getting a piece of the monetization revenue from ads on YouTube. But it's like off of me as a customer, my lifetime value for that creator is pretty freaking low. However, if someone like you or I step in and help them create a business that makes sense for their audience and we connect that to all their promos, then instead of them sending DJI the customer, they keep the customer. So they attract the customer and they keep the customer. So then they flip the problem on its head, and now they're able to build a business and they're able to build wealth. Because I must remind you, the only path to wealth is through ownership of an income generating asset, right? That's the only path to wealth. I challenge you to think of another path to wealth. Like when you boil it all down, it always comes down to owning a valuable asset, and that asset is typically valuable because it generates income. Okay. Bitcoin's the exception. So what I'm saying to you is that wealth does exist in the world of influencers and content creators, but you don't need to be one to take advantage of it. Okay. I'm camera shy. I don't like doing this right now. I'm doing this because it feeds some of my other goals, but I don't have to do this. I've been making money without putting my face on the camera. And to elaborate on how that's done is like when you bridge that gap, connecting the business to the creator, like own a piece of that business that you help them create. Simple. Let me give you a real example. our internal historical metrics, right? And for compliance purposes, I'll just say that like past performance does not indicate future performance, right? But I'm just sharing the internal historical data of my company in the business of publishing creators. On average, we've got this down to a ratio, a dollar to follower ratio. And that's kind of how we judge how healthy like the monetization is of a creator's audience. And so historically from our clients, the people that we've published, they've made anywhere from $3 to $10 per follower in the first year of launching. Like nothing's perfect and they're still getting accustomed to business ownership. And so it could be a lot more, but that's the running average is $3 to $10. We have some people make $1 per follower. You have some people make $21 per follower. And so again, that's done through connecting their audience to signature products that their audience is going to love. Okay. So if you think about owning a piece of those businesses and like for us internally so far, within that first year, on average, the profit that we create is like somewhere between $350,000 and $380,000 in that first year on average per creator. Let's say we own 50% of each company that we hope bring to life. This isn't how the math would actually work out because we have to factor in the costs of growing the business. But for the sake of simplicity, let's just run with this example, okay? So let's say it's 350K profit added per year, and we own 50% of every company that we help bring to life. For every company that we help bring to life, we add $175,000 into our pocket by splitting the profit in half, right? It would actually be less than that because we have to factor in growth budget. But for the sake of the example, let's just say it's 175, right? So if we add 4 creators to our portfolio every year, help them launch business, and we get paid $175,000 on average per launch that we do in that year, then we make $700,000 a year. You see what I'm talking about? This is why in my first year of doing this, I was able to make $300,000 just by launching a couple creators. Okay. Like you see how that racks up, and nobody knows my name or face. I'm not popular. I follow more people on Instagram than follow me. And I probably have like 1,000 followers. Like nobody knows me. And yet I'm making this type of money, right? And this is just from a couple creators in the first year. So imagine when you start compounding that. And we can afford to do 4 to 6 launches a year because it takes us about 6 weeks per launch. And I run a very small team. There's only like 4 of us. So when I tell you, you really don't need to become an influencer or a popular creator or have these big audiences. You can leverage people who are already there and strike the right business deals with them. And you don't need to strike a lot of these deals. And as long as you have the expertise to execute on it, like helping them bring a certain business to life, whether that's a service business or a digital product business or a physical product business or whatever your expertise is in that you feel like you could help them develop, like that for you is a path to wealth. You're going to make them a lot richer in the process and you're going to get a lot richer in the process. So that's my 2 cents. Don't kill yourself chasing these likes and views and subscribers and followers because you don't need to. Okay. You just don't.